Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Megha Sharma. Pressure is now mounting on the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau right after the resignation of his Deputy Prime Minister Krista Freeland. The former ally and the NDP leader Jagmeet Singh has demanded Trudeau's resignation. Jagmeet Singh has said that at a time when Prime Minister needs to fight for Canadians, the Liberal Party members are fighting with each other. This is surprising because it was Jagmeet Singh who had pushed Trudeau to campaign for the Khalistanis with him since their alliance in 2021 elections. Jagmeet Singh had also backed Trudeau when he launched a campaign against India for Niger being the first one to demand sanctions on Indian diplomats. A year later, at the first opportunity, Jagmeet Singh has backstabbed Trudeau and wants him gone. Let's start our conversation, and joining me on the telecast is Ambassador Ashok Sajjanar. Let's take a look at the domestic affairs where Justin Trudeau finds himself to be in a very precarious situation because his Deputy Prime Minister has decided to quit. Is there an opportunity over here for the opposition party, which is the Conservatives, that is led by Pierre Poilievre, to then bring into motion a no confidence vote and perhaps becoming successful in allowing for snap elections to take place?
Yeah, thank you very much, Megha. I think Justin Trudeau has really been losing support amongst his own party members. Of course, the opposition is what it is, and he was really surviving on the basis of the support that he was receiving. You know, Jagmeet Singh's party, the NDP, had about 25 members, and out of that, Justin Trudeau needed 15 members to make up for the numbers as far as the parliament is concerned. Now, Jagmeet Singh had announced that he is going to forsake Trudeau. He's not going to support him. Earlier, he was going out of the coalition, but still at the last, no confidence motion vote, he had not, acted against Trudeau. Right now, I think the position of Trudeau becomes even more shaky when the finance minister and the deputy prime minister has left him and, really declared him to be incompetent, to be an incompetent leader. And he's got also this shock from Jagmeet Singh that he's no longer going to support Trudeau for if another no confidence vote is taken in the parliament. Frankly, I don't know how long, whether, the opposition can come up with another no confidence motion so soon after the last one was, voted out.
Yeah.
Because normally there is, a hiatus and interregnum between two, votes of no confidence that might be taken against the government. So that might be there, but I think on the face of it, it does appear that Justin Trudeau is losing support very quickly amongst his own party members. And as and when the next vote of no confidence comes up in the parliament, I think he's going to have a very difficult time to sustain his government, to save himself. So it does appear, like a writing on the wall, that his days are numbered, and he might have to quit much before even, the next elections, which are due to take place around the end of 2025.
Okay. Professor Madhav Nalapur, the very reason that the finance minister called it quits was over the clash that she had with Justin Trudeau with regards to the tariffs that have been threatened by Trump to impose the 25% tariffs, and of course the government spending. We already know that ever since Trudeau came to power, and that has been a considerable period of 15 years, the GDP of Canada has slumped systematically as compared to United States of America or any other developed economy. And then you talk about the housing crisis, the rent crisis that Canada is facing, the joblessness the Canada and Canadian government at this point of time has to find a solution to. Talking about the high prices of groceries, and opposition party leaders including Pierre Poilievre, including the NDP and Jagmeet Singh, have been targeting Justin Trudeau over do you think right now Trudeau coming up with a very flimsy statement saying that we are going to be working to ensure that Trump's 25% tariff threat is circumvented, and if at all he is able to actually achieve this very difficult task, could he receive brownie points from people and somehow save himself from the humiliation that may ensue?
Well, Megha, I want to remind you of the old saying, when you sup with the devil, make sure you sup with a long spoon. First of all, I don't think Krista Freeland has resigned on any issue of principle. Of course, it will be presented differently by her, naturally. She wants to put the best face on it. I think she would like to be Prime Minister herself, and why not? What's wrong with her? I mean, there's very little difference in policy between her and Justin Trudeau, and possibly she'll be a little more popular than Justin Trudeau. My view is this resignation has been motivated not by any great ideals or idealism, but solely by the desire to jump over Trudeau's head and become the Prime Minister, if possible, before the election. Because at the quickest opportunity, if there is a no confidence vote, well, he's going to lose it. And why is he going to lose it? Because the Jagmeet Singh is going to vote against him. How wonderful, how ironic. The fact of the matter is, I think Justin Trudeau has read the tea leaves finally, and he understands that basically what is being asked of him is to be an accessory to a criminal act. The fact is that acts of violence and terror against India were perpetrated during the time of his father, and his father escaped without any accountability for that. But today it's a different world, and with Trump coming to power, a very, very different world. I think Trump's people are very focused on terror, and they will not forgive any act of terror. Neither will our government. I'm sure our government has come up with enough evidence of the involvement of people in the Canadian government, supporting the Canadian government about such activities. And while that is going nowhere under Joe Biden, it's definitely going to take off under people like Mike Waltz, under people like Ratcliffe, people like Tulsi Gabbard. They're going to take it up. So in my view, Trudeau doesn't want to commit any further to actually being an accessory for terror. Otherwise, he'll be responsible criminally in a way which his lawyers may have advised him, is you better be careful. So that is why I think he would have gone slow. And that's why Jagmeet Singh will be angry with him. And I think Krista Freeland is now offered herself, whether she will read the papers and then she will decide to go that particular path. I don't know. Because frankly, it is being an accessory to torture, to murder, to terrorism is a criminal act, irrespective of who indulges in Megha.
You're right. There's something interesting that has once again happened, and we have to focus on it. Gautam Mukherjee, once again, Donald Trump has not shied away from taking a jibe at Justin Trudeau. And this is what he has posted on his social media platform, Truth Social. He said, no one can answer why we subsidize Canada to the tune of over $100 million a year. And many Canadians want Canada to become the 51st state. They should save massively on taxes and military protection. I think it's a great idea, Canada becoming the 51st state. And ever since Donald Trump won the election, this is, I think, the fourth time he has mocked Justin Trudeau. Goes about showing the public humiliation that Justin Trudeau continues to face. And he comes up, I mean, how small his stature is in front of US and Donald Trump, and he continues to succumb and continues to suck up to him simply because he does not have a choice, because he is not even retaliating.
Well, I don't think Justin Trudeau is in any position to take on the United States, and particularly a feisty president-elect like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is mocking the stature of Canada. He is mocking Justin Trudeau as a leader. And I think Justin Trudeau's days are numbered without American support. He's been doing quite well under Biden, but that is now history. And the inauguration date is coming up shortly, and Trump is very calculatedly keeping the pot boiling by making repeated comments about Justin Trudeau and about Canada and its significance. So in all of this, if the people like Jagmeet Singh, who would like to harken back to the old days, or any other elements of the Liberal Party who refuse to smell the coffee and want to play Trudeau's game, all of this is out of date. And they are not going to be able to do it, even if the Conservative Party were to come in when the next elections come about. They will have to toe a Trumpian line, and not what was going on in the past with backing the Khalistanis, backing various the Chinese, and carrying on being a safe harbor for all kinds of bad elements, and wrecking the economy, but a few people being very comfortable in it. I think all of that is going to be something that will have to be revised and revamped in order to please Trump. And Trump means it when he says, I'm going to impose tariffs, because of the kind of things that are being let slip via Canada into the United States, including drugs.
Okay.
And so he wants to stop it, and he's going to stop it. And he's going to mold the Canadian politicians to suit. Megha.
Dr. Sandeep Tripathi, what is your view, particularly with this strongly worded letter that has been written by the former Finance Minister and Deputy Prime Minister of Justin Trudeau? She speaks about how Canadian political landscape is toxic and there is a need for stronger leadership. There have been other ministers, cabinet members of the Trudeau government that have also come out in the past, resigned from the party, said that there was need for stronger leadership. So there is not just pressure that is being mounted from the opposition, whether it is Jagmeet Singh or the Conservative Party, it is also from within the party. Pressure continues on Justin Trudeau. Has he become a joke?
Yeah, you are right that the lots of crisis before Justin Trudeau within the party, from the Liberals, and of course from the opposition party, from the Conservative, and no doubt from the USA Donald Trump. So this is kind of all corner kind of put pressure on Justin Trudeau. But one fact we should know that in a year, it was the Liberals' third by-election defeat of the year, third time, and the recent defeat in British Columbia is a major blow. So it's somehow the frustration, the kind of frustration, and all things coincided together. When we talk about the USA, when we talk about the 25% tariff, imposed tariff, and after that, we have seen that Trump been mocked on finance minister, that her behavior was very toxic. So this is a game of play, and nobody knows what will happen. But yes, this is very clear that Justin Trudeau is alone, left. And see, when your time is not favorable, when time is not with you, so the things happens what is happening in the Canadian politics, and someone who was backing to you, and someone within the Liberal parties that they are asking for the resignation, and see the finance minister, tone of the finance minister, they're saying that yes, we have policy level differences with you. So you are not even able to tackle the tariff positions and Trump's economic aggressive nationalism. So these are the blames, the counter blames is going on there. So I think the entire politics, as you mentioned, that the Canadian domestic politics, the landscape of the domestic politics is getting changed. And now the time has come to rethink, especially I'm talking about the Justin Trudeau, that for the time being, you can't galvanize the Canadian politics for at the sake of anti-India campaign.
Okay.
Anti-India campaign. But for a long time, your policy and your dependency factor, it has to be have some caliber and some viable policy to protect yourself. And that's why if the Canada is facing today, it's just because of the under Biden time, it was Trudeau who was playing as the tone of the Biden, but now Biden is no more there.
Right.
So
okay.
now,
Okay. All right. Fair enough. You made your point, Ambassador. Sajjan, then the more pressing question is for India. Now, do you think we are going to be able to reinstate our diplomatic ties if there were another leader to come to power? For example, Pierre Poilievre, who is at this point of time 30 votes ahead of Trudeau in the opinion polls that are at this point of time circulating in the Canadian news media. And how do you think this is going to play out? Do you think any leader except for Trudeau is good for India?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. I think that's an excellent question, Megha. You know, we've seen that the ball is squarely in Canada's court. You know, who's the one who started all these problems and troubles between the two countries? It was not India. India has basically been responding and reacting to what Canada has been doing. You know, it happened on the 18th of September, you might recall, 2023, last year, when Trudeau had got up in the Canadian Parliament and said that we have credible allegations against India. So far, no proof has been given, actually. And after that, they have come around saying that, you know, the Indian High Commissioner and many of its diplomats are also, you know, connected with the oppression of, you know, Indian dissidents, South Asian dissidents in Canada. Again, no proof has been submitted. They've been sharing all this information with Washington Post. They've come out recently saying that there is internal interference, you know, in domestic interference in Canada because Indian High Commission asked for details of the people who are applying for visas, you know, whether they are Khalistani sympathizers or supporters, etc., etc. So I think it is basically all this problem. It is a creation of Justin Trudeau's government. Now we'll have to be very careful because you know this the Khalistani supporter Jagmeet Singh Dhaliwal, meaning the for political purposes even the conservatives might wish their support in some way or the other. That having been said, I don't think that the opposition party, the Conservatives, Pierre Poilievre, and we have the, you know, the experience of Stephen Harper before Justin Trudeau. I think he was very positively inclined. You would recall that Prime Minister Modi, after he came to power in 2014, he had also visited Canada. We were also, you know, Canada has huge stocks and supplies of uranium and very many of these rare earth minerals, and you know, we were talking about expanding our trading arrangement with them, and the Conservatives were very positively inclined. So, you know, I would like to see that, you know, we'll have to move step by step. We'll have to move in a calibrated manner. We'll have to see how, you know, whichever government replaces, whichever leader replaces Justin Trudeau, I think no one can be as you know, bad as Justin Trudeau is, not only for relations with India, but also as far as his own country is concerned.
Okay.
So I think anyone who comes is going to be better than that. But whether we are going to be able to come to status quo ante as it prevailed in September 2023, that we'll really have to wait, we'll have to watch, observe, and then move forward in that direction.
Okay. Professor Nalapat, then what role is going to be played by the NDP and Jagmeet Singh, keeping in mind he is in all likelihood going to become the kingmaker come the next elections?
Look, I can only say that in my view, finally accountability will catch up with anybody. Anybody. Under Prime Minister Modi, a huge amount of evidence has been collected about, especially also about Canadian diplomats. In case the diplomatic mission in Canada operates basically as a recruitment center for Khalistanis. But unless if you're a young person from Punjab and you don't say that you favor the state of Khalistan, and if you say you favor it, and then you get a visa. Now the fact is that you're basically favoring terrorists just because they're terrorizing another country, the people of another country. If that kind of situation continues, obviously India is not going to welcome it, and obviously relations are going to be frosty. The sad truth is, several Canadian diplomats served as recruiting agents for youths, and who basically went to Canada, and some of them have undergone actual training in terrorism. I have a good team of people who study these subjects, who research these subjects. There are at least 200 centers in Canada where this kind of training is imparted. Now, if that kind of diplomacy is practiced, well, we don't want any part of it. And I'm sure EAM Jaishankar and Prime Minister Modi will ensure that it does not happen.
Yeah.
But I also want to say very clearly that, look, even as Hillary Clinton said, you grow snakes in your backyard as your pets. One day the poisonous snake will bite you. Now, what is to prevent this group from biting Canada, United States, and US and Canada? Entry and exit is very easy. What is to prevent them? US is actually the big target for Al-Qaeda and ISIS. It's not India, it's the US.
Yeah.
And what is to prevent Canada, being the transit hub for ISIS, to do terror attacks via any group that they feel can do it, and then they can financially support. So frankly, Justin Trudeau has put Canadian security at risk. Krista Freeland was with him when he did it, justified him when he did it. I don't know if it will be an improvement, but if the Conservative Party also follows the same direction, then heaven help Canada.
Okay. I have just a couple of minutes left, and I would seek a response from Gautam Mukherjee before I conclude this conversation about what's the road ahead, and particularly with regards to Donald Trump, who is going to very soon become the president of America, and him being non-committal when it comes to taking a stand on the Khalistani menace that is in Canada. Is there any expectation that India can have from Trump?
Well, I think, Megha, Trump has policies of his own with regard to Canada, which in a lateral way will benefit India, because he will put a lot of pressure on Canada. He's already doing so. A 25% tariff is no laughing matter. And he is going to put pressure on Canada in a number of ways, to an economy that is already fragile and in need of succor. Whether the Liberals win or the Conservatives win, they have to do something about their domestic economy. Now, in the process, the Khalistani issue, which was sort of center stage in many ways, because of their crucial support to Trudeau, will recede into the background. Now, that will benefit India. To what extent Trump is going to pull the chestnuts out of the fire for us, I think that would be expecting too much. Neither will they respond any better than they have been to our queries and demands with regard to the Khalistanis. But I think Canada will have to change to suit Trump, and we will get the benefit.
Right, absolutely. On that note, I'm out of time. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast and sharing your views on the subject. All right.